where would you say for the human trader the importance of ego plays? So maybe you have a 6 or 7 or 8 figure trader who does well. Where's
Hmm.
that fine line in ego
Oof.
where they have seen this type of market or seen this type of move before, and so they're steadfast in their trade, versus
Yeah.
the other side of that where it becomes harmful
Oof.
and they're doubling down on a
This
losing
is
position. Can you
this
maybe
is
talk
tough.
about ego in trading?
This is tough. This is tough. This is a really tough one because most, especially in 2020. Remember, we're in 2022, and most people's relationships with their egos and most people's definition of ego is immediately negative. It's not a positive. It's not a positive feeling or thought immediately after somebody says, "Oh, this guy's got a lot of ego." They ain't saying it in a positive way. They're saying it in a negative way. Dude's an asshole, or he's got a problem, or something like that. You know what I mean? So when you look at it in trading, you have to realize you have to have a relationship with your ego, right? Because there's things that your ego will do for you that are incredible, absolutely incredible. To get to a seven-figure trading, to get to eight figures, who doesn't have ego? How the hell are you not going to have some ego to get there in the first freaking place? Number one, you had to have it to believe that you could have done it, right? And there's no other way you would have gotten there without the ego to tell you that you possibly could have had it. You know what I mean? To even dream up the idea to begin with, and to even get a little bit of confidence just to figure out how to go there. You know what I mean? So it's not all negative here. Where it gets negative, where it starts to turn the tides here. And again, I'm not the psychologist, the therapist. I don't have all the terms and the science behind it. I can just speak to how it happens for me. I've been aware of my ego and what it does to me. When it starts telling you, like, when it starts making you live, uh when it when you're a different person, when that's a completely different person, and it requires different things, and the things that it requires has an effect on the other person, right? So now you got two people, right? Let's just call it schizophrenia at that point, right? You're one person who needs, basics to live, doesn't need much, but then this ego starts to talk to you and says, "Oh, we can do this, we can do that, we can do this, we can do that," and it'll go places that, and again, it's just a manifestation. It's just dreams at that point. It's just thoughts, you know, and but again, thoughts can be believed, and once we believe them and we truly internalize them, we start to feel that way. We start to believe it's true, and all of it is completely true, and then what it does is that it puts us in situations that we can't control. We can't control ourselves anymore, and that's where it turns against us. You know what I mean? And now you have to feed it. It requires maintenance. The ego now requires maintenance. It requires things, and that causes a lot of stress. Causes a lot of stress, and eventually you crack, and you can't keep that up. So you have to, number one, you have to be aware of it. You have to be aware of what it looks like for you, what it does for you, what it doesn't do for you, how it hurts you or how it hurts other people. You got to look at all this kind of stuff, if you wanted to get to that point. Most people, again, they just need it. They just need it to get them to believe, right? To get them to believe and get there. And then when you get there, you start to have other things, right? Because people always have this sort of belief, once I get there, everything's going to be fine. Like, nah, no, bro. Like, no, no. Once you get there, now there's another thing, and there's other problems and all this kind of stuff. Like, life continues to go on. Like, your suffering, so to speak, that you did to yourself mentally, it doesn't stop. It just changes, right? So now you got to deal with this ego that you've created that got you to this point thus far. But you got to tell this person who just happens to be another side of you, that, hey, you know what? Now it's time to chill out. We got here. We're good. We don't have to go there anymore. We don't need all that anymore. And we can chill out. You know what I mean? So there's a balance thing, just like with anything else in life. The yin and yang, man. You're constantly on that line, and it's difficult to stay on that line. You're always going to be balanced. You're always going to be on one other side of it. You know what I mean? That's the truth of it.
Yeah.
But as long as you can continue to coming back and finding that line, you should be okay. The further you get, the more problems you got.